Oops. Uh-oh. Got to start again. Things happen in live television. It's the nasty mute disease. So again, welcome. My name is Scott Muri, and I'm the superintendent of Ector County Independent School District. And it is a pleasure to have you with us tonight. And as I said, we have missed you. It has been a while since we've been live, since we've had these opportunities, and we want to thank you for joining us tonight. We have a pretty incredible show. We're going to look at our post-secondary opportunities as we think about our high school students and their next steps in life. We're going to jump into that, talk about post-secondary, talk about college and career and military, and how our kids get there, and then how we support them as they go throughout that process. And we've got some special guests that are joining us tonight, and we'll offer their guidance and their wisdom. But before we get to that, we want to provide a few quick updates on some excitement that is happening in ECISD. We've cut lots of ribbons recently, specifically red ribbons. This is Red Ribbon Week in ECISD. We started our week this week with a huge celebration as we began this particular week, informing our kids, our students about the dangers of illegal drug use and the damaging effects that those can have on our lives. Our community has joined with us. You see red ribbons throughout our community. Each of our schools, elementary, middle school, and high schools, have been very active this week, and it's been a great opportunity to remind our kids about their own personal safety and the dangers of drugs. But red ribbons have been a part of other celebrations at ECISD as well over the last couple of weeks. We cut a red ribbon a few weeks ago as we launched a brand new, really a refurbished, if you will, observatory. One of our high schools, Odessa High School, in 1969 had built an observatory on top of their brand new science building, and they used it for quite a few years, but then it became a tool that wasn't used as much, and some folks literally forgot about the fact that they had this incredible space on top of their building. And last year, that space was rediscovered. We've invested some dollars, thanks to Chevron, in that particular area. And a few weeks ago, we cut the red ribbon for our brand new observatory on top of Odessa High School. It will provide an incredible experience for our kids to gaze into the stars and to our solar system and see all that they can. And then in the auditorium of Odessa High School, we have a brand new planetarium. Not only will our kids have observatory experiences on the top of the school, but they'll have those planetarium experiences as well. Available to all of our elementary, middle, and high schools, we're excited to begin to create programming that can take active use of that particular space. But that wasn't the only red ribbon that we've cut recently. We cut another red ribbon this week as we opened our brand new greenhouses. Our horticulture students had been using some pretty old and dilapidated, in fact, they had become almost dangerous greenhouses that had certainly served us well, but were far beyond their capacity to provide a safe and healthy learning environment for our kids. And so we built two brand new greenhouses and opened those this week at our agricultural farm. And our horticulture students were thrilled to be a part of that experience, and probably even more excited now that they're able to use their skills and their talents and develop those in a brand new and very modern space. We're excited to provide that opportunity for kids in ECISD. So we've been busy, lots of excitement and activities over the last couple of weeks. One of the areas of investment of our strategic plan is our talent, the 4,200 talented employees of ECISD. We invest a lot of time, energy, and effort into them, and we are recruiting more. We recognize that specifically in the area of teaching, we don't have enough teachers in our area. And so we've developed a variety of pathways, and right now, one of those pathways is open. It is called the Odessa Pathway to Teaching. It is one of 3 programs in the state of Texas that is licensed and certified to cultivate teachers and to actually award them a teaching certificate. Ector County ISD, Dallas Independent School District, and Houston Independent School District are the 3 districts that have developed their own teacher certification program. We're excited to be among such great company. We're targeting right now individuals in our community and beyond that have a bachelor's degree and may already be in a job, but they would like to teach, or they're thinking about teaching. And so this program provides individuals with a bachelor's degree an opportunity to become a certified teacher. So once again, Odessa Pathway to Teaching applications are now available. You can visit the Ector County ISD website to receive more information about that opportunity. So if you're interested in becoming a teacher in Ector County, this is a great opportunity for you to join the pathway and accelerate your opportunity into teaching. And last update quickly is related to broadband. We've done a lot of work over the last year and a half expanding high-speed broadband opportunities for our students. And most recently, our Connector Task Force, a group of individuals, leaders throughout our community, from our business community, our healthcare community, the education community, and other entities. Our philanthropic community is a part of that as well. Several government elected officials are a part of that group. So 26 of us gather around and talk about and develop plans for the implementation of a high-speed, affordable broadband opportunity in our area. In fact, yesterday we presented this model that we've developed. Has generated quite a bit of interest, not only across the state of Texas, but across the nation as well. Yesterday, we participated in a webinar along with the U.S. Department of Education, sharing this information with school districts across the country. I should actually say around the world. We had an international audience yesterday on this webinar, individuals from around the world that were very curious as to what's happening in Ector County and how they could learn from the work that we're doing and then apply that work to their own community. So Connector Task Force doing a great job creating plans to bring high-speed, affordable broadband to every family in Ector County. Excited about that work. Well, one of the things that broadband can also bring you is an opportunity to engage in a post-secondary world. We recognize as a school system that access to high-speed broadband, not only in our schools, but in our homes, is a critical element. And throughout the pandemic, we've learned that many people that once they graduate from high school, they are interested in those post-secondary experiences. And throughout the pandemic, we saw many people in our community leveraging their virtual opportunities to access colleges, not only in our own community, but throughout the state of Texas and the nation. And so that those post-secondary experiences are pretty critical for our individuals. And tonight, we are focusing upon post-secondary. How do we develop our kids and prepare them for the world of four-year universities, two-year colleges, technical schools, and the military? What does that preparation look like? What happens once our kids graduate? How do we support them throughout their post-secondary journey, even after high school graduates? And so I'm not the expert in this area, but tonight I'm going to be joined by a group of individuals that provide a great deal of expertise, as well as a couple of our students and former students that have had some experiences in ECISD and can provide some insights as well. So I'd like to bring in my first guest tonight, and she is not a face that is new to us. Angelica Mourinho is a familiar face and one of our 4,200 employees. She has a very specific skill set in supporting our college career folks as they head out into the world. And actually, Angelica, first, thank you for joining us tonight and welcome to ECISD Live. It's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And you have an unusual role. I can tell you that I've worked in a variety of different school districts, and none of the districts that I've ever worked in has a role like yours. So why don't you share with our audience tonight, specifically, what is your title, and then what do you do in ECISD?
Well, my title is the College and Career Advisor for Odessa High School. I help students get connected to college with dual credit, FAFSA. I'm also the coordinator for SAT and PSAT, the representative on our campus for Texas Scholars, and helping get kids connected and get ready for CCMR, college and career readiness. So a multitude of things. But mainly, I'm trying to help students get connected with what they want to do next.
Yep.
We've been going into classes with all the counselors, the alpha counselors, as well as myself, and have been showing the students Naviance. That's a program, that the district has that can help students with career exploration, college exploration, their interest. They can see maybe what they're more interested in and what colleges may have something that they want.
Yep.
Um,
So let's talk about that for a minute, Angelica. So our district, one of the things we recognized a couple of years ago was that we didn't have enough tools and resources for our kids as they navigated the journey from high school into college. And one of the new tools that we bought is Naviance. It is a
yes,
computer application that actually I think we start students in the eighth grade, kind of
correct.
getting accustomed to Naviance, and then it travels throughout their high school journey. Talk a little bit about that tool. What does it do, and how does it support our kids throughout their high school journey?
Well, it really is an amazing tool where you can do a lot of things in just one site. So you can go and you can look at the different colleges all over the United States. You can see what they offer, what the admission requirements are, what the cost is. You can also look at various occupations and what type of degree you need to be in those occupations, if any. It's They also offer interest inventories. And the students, Dr. Murray, can actually use this program 6 years out after they graduate.
Oh wow! So it
For,
continues. Yeah.
yes, for resumes and to continue going to college and other things that they may need in the career force.
We're going to talk about our to and through efforts in a few minutes, but that's good to know. So starts in eighth grade,
Mhm.
supports them through high school, but also they get to continue using it for 6 years beyond. Um,
Correct.
that's a powerful tool. Does it take your place?
No, because
Interesting.
you still need the one-on-one with the students so you can hear their opinions and know
Exactly.
their wants and just
Yep.
kind of talk to them about what it is that they're wanting and what their families are wanting.
Yeah, no, I think that's important to know. It's really, we talk about blended learning in ECISD, and really this is a great example. The tool, Naviance, provides supports for kids, but it doesn't replace having a college and career counselor in the lives of our kids. And I think both of you together, Naviance and the counselor, provide even more support today than what we were able to provide in the past. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. I would say, in the past, years past, students didn't have something like Naviance where they have everything at their fingertips. Not
Yep.
only can they get knowledge from me and the other counselors, but they're also able to just sit at their home and look at this and investigate what they want.
So we have some parents watching tonight. How does this tool help a parent, or is there a parent component of this that our folks should be aware of?
Yes, actually, the parents can log in. They'll have a code. They usually get an email at the beginning of the year, and they have a code where they can log on and they can also see what their child is looking at. They can look at their graduation plan. They can look at what classes the student picks once we start educational planning. There are many things that the parent can get on board with to look at with their student and investigate as well.
So the big question: I am a high school student and I want to go to college, and
Yes.
so what kinds of questions should I be asking? What should I think about as a student? And from a parent perspective, same thing. What questions should I be asking? I should be asking. What should I be paying attention to as a parent if my child is interested in going to college?
Well, you should definitely make sure that come to school every day, that they're paying attention to their studies, they're getting the grades, that they take every opportunity of any career fair we have. Like we just had an online day career fair, and they were able to talk to different universities and colleges about their admissions, financial aid information. As a parent, I would say you need to ask, what does your student want, your child? What do they want to be when they grow up, as we say?
Mhm.
Are they interested in, just going to the workforce? Are they interested in doing a certificate, a 2 year, a 4 year? Do they want to be a doctor? Like, what do they want to be do? What do they want to do? I would just say, just listen to your child closely to see what it is that makes them happy.
Yeah, good. I think you've got some slides. If we could bring up your slides, you had quite a bit of really healthy information on there that I
Okay.
think is useful not only for our high school students but parents as well. So if we could bring up those slides and maybe you could share just a few tidbits from that. I know, as an example, FAFSA recently. ECISD has provided a lot of guidance in FAFSA, so the financial piece of this is important. But here are your slides. If you want to kind of help us, we can scroll through a little bit and see what's here.
Okay.
and then kind of point out, well, there it is, FAFSA right off the
There
bat.
it is. So we want to start with FAFSA. Of course, FAFSA is the free application for student aid. And we also have the TASFA, the Texas application for student financial aid. And so the FAFSA you would do if the student himself or herself has a social security or is a resident. But there also is the TASFA. If they don't have a social or they're not a resident, they can still get the same amount of money and so toward their school. And I have parents that ask, well, what if I make too much, Miss Moreno? Maybe I shouldn't apply. Well, let's say you're making 200,000 a year, you still need to do the FAFSA for your child or the TASFA, because if a student gets an athletic scholarship or a scholarship from a company or an academic scholarship, fine arts, whatever it might be, almost all universities will not release that money unless you complete your FAFSA.
Correct.
And
Yep.
on the other side of that, if you're low economic status, let's say you make under 45,000 a year and you complete your FAFSA by the state deadline of January 15th, you're looking at, instead of the Pell Grant being 6,400, to getting all your tuition and fees paid from that school, which could be up to $18,000.
Yep.
So it's a huge increase to do that on time, complete your FAFSA.
Absolutely. And I think one more reason this year to do it is there's a new law in Texas
Yes, there
that
is.
now, in order for our kids, our seniors to graduate from high school, they're now required to complete the FAFSA as a part of their high school graduation. So
Yes, sir.
there's a little bit of additional incentive to graduate to
Right.
complete the FAFSA right now. Yep. One of those things I learned as a high school principal, I had no idea, even colleges use for other scholarships the information from the FAFSA itself. Colleges will use that information to help them make decisions about potentially non-FAFSA related money, but it's the information on the FAFSA that colleges need. So it's a pretty critical tool
Yes, sir.
for every student to complete, whether or not they think they're going to college or not. You kind of need to have this in place just in case down the road you make that decision.
And we do have students that have said, I don't want to go to college, Miss Moreno. I'm not thinking about that right now. But then, sure enough, in the summer, they'll come back and they'll say, you know what, I changed my mind.
Sure.
My friend is going, or this changed, or that changed. And so it's good to already have it on file so that way they can say, okay, the money's there, I can go.
Let's scroll a little bit more. There's much more to college than money. You got to have the money to get in for sure. And if you don't have it yourself, FAFSA would get it, but other
Right.
things.
We've been going into the classes, Dr. Murray, into the
Mhm.
senior classes, and we have started on Go Apply Texas. That's the new application site for Texas to be able to apply to the state schools.
Okay.
It used to be Apply Texas, but they've changed the site, so everybody needs a new account. So we've been working with our students on that.
Okay.
And just showing them that we have videos and checklists on all of the high school websites that they can go to so they can see the information that they need. And we review them everything that they need. So admissions, do your application, pay for the application, or get a waiver from me or the other college counselors if they're on free or reduced lunch. So if they qualify on the USDA application, we can give them free waivers for admissions for college. Then we talk about transcripts and sending their SAT scores. So we've been trying to cover all the different things, all the different aspects of applying to college during classes.
Good. What else? Keep scrolling and let's see what else, other tidbits.
So the FAFSA and the TASFA, we are trying our best. As you said, it is a requirement. I want, and I know all the counselors want, to try our best to help the parents however we can. So we've been having evening events. We've been having events in the classrooms. And then for those parents that don't want big events and don't want to come in the evening, we're available for one-on-one appointments. If they call, we can help. And as a matter of fact, a parent can do the FAFSA or their TASFA on their own. If they don't want us to see their information, they definitely can complete that at home on their own at studentaid.gov for FAFSA. And the TASFA, they can come pick up a copy or they can get it off of collegeforalltexans.com.
Great.
I just want them to know that we're available for them however they would like. Even calling me on the phone and saying, Miss Moreno, I'm stuck on this part. What do I do?
Yep. Good. Yeah. I know I've seen, in fact, I've seen really all of our high schools offer a lot of supports this year, during the day and after hours, weekends, et cetera, to help parents complete this process. And so thank you for really going well above and beyond the call of duty for the kids that we serve. One quick financial question that one of our parents has asked, and that is about SAT and ACT. Not only are there dollars available to pay for college, but to get there, many colleges still require the SAT or the ACT. Is there assistance available, financial assistance for kids to take SAT, ACT?
Yes, again, if they qualify on USDA application, that's why it's very important to get that done. If they qualify, we do have waivers in the college and career advisors offices to give to the students to apply and take those tests. And of course, we have school day that they can participate in as well here on campus.
Great. Yep. We pay for the school day SAT ourselves. That's something the district provides, but there is financial assistance available for SAT, ACT on top of what the district already pays for. Anything else? You've got several things on the checklist. Anything else you want to highlight from your checklist?
Well, I just want to say, with the high school parents, just stay involved. I have a student or my son that just graduated, and my daughter's about to finish college. And I'm just going to say the most important thing was just to stay connected with what they want. Because a lot of times we think we know what they want, and then it's like, oh, that's not what they want to do. So just listening to your child and just keeping up with their grades and that at school, because sometimes senior year they get a little bit slower at things. So we just need to make sure that they, finish that finish line and they continue with what they want to do.
Great. No, you're exactly right. That engagement of the parents is absolutely critical for the success of our kids. And there are a lot of things, even though the kids may not want that at the high school level, there are a lot of things moms and dads can do to help their kid make that transition. Hey, Angelica, we're going to come back to you, but thank you for being a part of us this evening. We're going to transition to CTE. So what if my child, is maybe not interested in a 4-year, but perhaps a technical or 2-year? Lynette Salinas is going to join us. Lynette, this is your area of expertise. So Lynette, thank you for being with us tonight. You as well. Like I told Angelica, I've been in a variety of districts, but I've never been in a district that has people with your title either. So let us know, what do you do for ECISD? What's your title?
So I am, and thank you for having me, Dr. Murray. I am the Career and Technical Education Counselor at Odessa High School. There is one of me, a position at Premium High School as well. And so my role on the campus is to provide support to our corral counselors, but also to introduce kids to all the possible CTE programs that we offer. ECISD has so many opportunities for our students. And we start in 8th grade. Like you mentioned earlier, that this starts in 8th grade. They do career interest inventory, and then that kind of tells them a possible career they might be interested in. And from there, we help them look at their results and say, like, hey, we kind of have some classes that might fit into that. If it's something you want to try during high school, it serves as elective classes, and it gives you some experience in a field that you're interested in. So that is what I do. I help kids make connections with what they think they want to do or they're interested in to what they could possibly some elective options while they're here with us in ECISD.
And so your CTE students, we CTE students have technical opportunities to go to a technical school, a 2-year institution, or a 4-year institution. So CTE doesn't necessarily mean you're going to one. You actually have all of those options available to you. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. They have the opportunity to earn what we call IBCs, which are industry-based certificates, which means I can step out of high school and earn more certificates, or I can join the workforce, or I can continue going because I've been earning dual credit in my area, my CTE area, and I'm going to continue in that area and finish an associate's degree or possibly a bachelor's degree. So yes, it's not necessarily just a high school thing. It definitely stretches into post-secondary.
So let's talk about one of the things you mentioned earlier. I'm going to ask you to bring up, we have a graphic that actually it's a website, the CTE website, that lists all of the options. One of the things, Lynette, that you said is ECISD has a lot of career and technical education pathways for students. And so first, why don't you tell us first, what is a pathway? What does that mean? And then we're bringing up the website that's going to list those pathways. So what is a pathway?
The pathway essentially is the order, maybe the sequence in classes that
Okay.
students take. We try to get them engaged as early as possible, like starting in ninth grade for a chosen pathway. That way, we can continue in a certain area of their interest.
Yep.
Yes, and so that is what the pathway is. The pathway is essentially a sequence of
So
courses that they can
sequence
take.
of courses, typically
Yes.
3 in a pathway.
Right.
And
Yes.
at the end of that pathway, some of our students can earn, you said IBC, so industry-based certificate.
Right.
What does that mean? What does it allow me to do if I earn one?
Well, that allows you to join the workforce if you want to. The IBCs that are offered are they are approved by TEA and they are what the industry requires. For example, our kids in auto tech, they
Yep.
have the opportunity to earn up to 10 ASEs, which is what that industry requires for them.
Sure.
And so they can do that while in high school.
Let's bring up that CTE website, and if you could kind of help us navigate, where are these? Actually, the slide we're looking at. Oh,
Yeah, the slide.
the slide we're looking at right now, I think, had many of those pathways. And
Yes.
obviously, there you go. You want to walk? What are we looking at?
So it looks like a lot because it is a lot because we do offer a lot.
And that's
But
good. That's good.
yeah. So let's say I have an eighth grader come up to me and he says, I'm interested in law. So we would just look around and say, oh, look, there's the law. And we have a couple of pathways, programs of study that they might want to take as elective courses in high school: fire academy, criminal justice, forensics, paralegal. So they're kind of broken up into different areas, different categories, so that we can guide a kid into some possible elective options while they're with us.
Good. Now that's a nice variety of choices. And I mean, I see arts on there
Yes.
for those kids that are artistic. You've got health science, so a lot of the medical field, industrial technology, thinking about the gas and oil industry in which
Yes.
we work. You've got some opportunities. STEM, a very popular option for kids today. You really, and even business, business opportunities that could take kids certainly into a 4-year degree. It was an accounting major, business major, and maybe even a master's, an MBA or something. That's interesting.
Right.
Good.
And aside from this, they can earn dual credit in many of our programs of study as well, which we know that is credit for high school and for college. And because if they earn dual credit, we know this leads to less student debt, and or maybe they can even walk into college with some knowledge, some base of
Yep.
knowledge about engineering because they took some engineering classes in high school.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
Good. Did you have another slide you wanted to share with us?
Well, the other slide just kind of shows how we stretch into post-secondary.
It's coming up. There we go.
Yeah, there it is. So we see that we start with career pathways, which are the pathways we just talked about, our programs of study. And it starts in secondary, and that's high school when the CTE programs of study start, but it kind of extends a little bit before the blue high school box because we do start this in 8th grade. This stuff starts in 8th grade when we just get them to start exploring what possibly interests you. And then we can see we really do stretch into the post-secondary with those stackable credentials, like I was talking about, the IBCs, and or they can continue and earn an associate's degree because they've already started their dual credit, and obviously a bachelor's degree, and it just keeps going. So it's a lot of opportunities for our students for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Interesting. As we look at this graphic, on the left side of that graphic, you see career-focused learning and academic rigor. Where do those things occur?
In the classroom, in our CTE classrooms. They pretty much start, I would say, all the way across the board. But of course, the dual credit offers another layer of rigor as well, which most of our programs do offer. Our CTE classes that are taught at our satellite sites are double blocked courses, so they get like 2 class periods per day of their instruction. And so but it's something that interests them.
No,
So
absolutely.
usually we see that we have positive outcomes from that because they want to keep their CTE classes on their schedule. They handle their other business on campus too.
You mentioned dual enrollment, dual credit. And so one of
Yes.
the beauties of ECISD for kids that are interested, and speaking of rigor, that rigorous coursework in dual enrollment, dual credit. So it's one course that gives our students credit at the high school level
Mhm.
and credit at the college level at exactly the same time. In
Right.
fact, we have students in ECISD that graduate in the middle of May with an associate's degree, and then the very next week they graduate and earn a high school diploma. And
That's
so
right.
they're literally graduating from high school and entering. They could
Mhm.
enter college as a junior, and so they've
Right.
had 2 years worth of free college and have earned that degree or certificate and can do some really neat things. So CTE has some pretty amazing opportunities for kids.
Absolutely. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Last question about parents. So, as a
Yes.
parent, what do I need? My kids in high school, and maybe they're a part of a CTE pathway. What kinds of questions do I need to be asking my kid, or asking the counselor, asking you perhaps, just to make sure that my child is on track and then prepared for what comes next?
Right. Like Angelica said, stay connected with your child. Ask them questions. Ask them like, is your class offering dual credit? Because students, all they have to do is sign up for it, complete the paperwork, get a parent signature, and we enroll them on the dual credit side. Parents can ask them, what did you do in your class today? What have you done in welding? The secondary counselors took a tour of all our CTE sites yesterday, and it's amazing to see these kids working the way they are. And it would be great if they parents engaged in conversations like, what did you do today? We built a doghouse in construction, or
Great.
we watched some chicks hatch at the ag farm. It's just really interesting, and just to get your kids to talk to you about some of the things that they're doing at school that they are interested in.
No, absolutely. Lynette, thanks for being a part of
Thank you.
our program tonight. We appreciate you and the work that you do for kids, and
Thank
for
you.
making yourself available to moms and dads to kind of help them as we all together kind of navigate our kids through this opportunity. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
Um,
Dr. Murray.
you're very welcome. So as we transition, our kids are being prepared in high school into post-secondary. But one of the things that we learned about some of our students is they may make it to college or to a technical institution or to the military, but we have quite a few kids that don't make it through that opportunity. And we wanted to be intentional with our supports for students that are traveling through their post-secondary program. And so we last year created a new department in ECISD, and it is called the To and Through Department. And so tonight we have Liz Gray, that is a member of that team, and she is joining. So Liz, thank you for being a part of our show tonight. It's a pleasure to see you again. And once again, I think you're the third person. So we're 3 out of 3 now. Worked in a variety of districts, but I've never had an employee that has your title or even a department like yours. So tell us a little bit about your title and what is it that you do in your department?
Sure. So my official title is post-secondary education coordinator. It's a long, fancy way of saying that I get to support all of our alumni, no matter where you graduated from, up to those 6 years that Angelica talked about. And in the graphic for the CTE, the wraparound support, comes from our department.
So you've got we have a graphic, I think, or the website. You have developed a website with your department that provides those supports. So if we could pull that website up, maybe you could highlight a few bits and pieces on here that I think even our students that will see this, our former students, what are things on here that could kind of help them out as they're navigating this post-secondary life?
Well, so first of all, our tagline is fairly new. It's your goals, your success, our mission. Our entire existence is based on you being successful after you graduate from ECISD. So after all those awesome experiences that you might have had in junior high, high school, we want to continue those types of supports and those experiences for you after you graduate. So on this website, I've tried to put as much information as we can so it can be your one-stop shop for any questions that you have for college, career, or military.
Great. So how does a student or parent reach out to you? So I'm a kid and maybe I'm struggling, need some help, or I'm a parent and my child needs some help, or I need to know how to support my kid. How do I reach you?
So our contact information is at the bottom of each page on the site. So we have a phone number to the 2 and 3 Success Center. That Gmail goes directly to me, so I answer it all the time. And then if you will click where it says FAFSA open October 1st, click here. I'll show you. You can schedule appointments. We work very closely and partner with counseling and Angelica and the college and career advisors and help with FAFSAs. And you can go on and actually schedule appointments right there. So if you click schedule, you don't have to click it, but if you click schedule FAFSA guidance appointment, you can schedule an appointment specifically for FAFSA or just post-secondary advising. If you're just kind of stuck, I have an appointment tomorrow with a current senior who just wants to talk about their options after they graduate.
Good. Any interesting stories about former students that you all have been supporting? Anything you'd want to share?
Well, yes, there's one that sticks out in my mind. I did teach at OCA, Odessa Collegiate Academy, for 4 years. Yep. So I had this student her freshman year, and then she transferred to Permian, so I lost track of her. But last summer, she graduated as an Avid senior, and we piloted what we were doing with our Avid seniors. And I called her. She wanted to go to college, but she did not know where to start. So I met her up at OC. Yep. Right then and there, we got her registered for classes, and she said, "Thank you. If you wouldn't have called, I would not be in school right now." So I get to cheer her on as she continues her education.
Yeah, no, that's great. And that's what we have to do. Again, right now we're at 51% of our students that graduate from high school enroll in post-secondary, but only 6.5% in 2019 were coming out the other side after 6 years. And so the work that you're doing to support really the thousands of kids that are engaged in post-secondary is pretty critical. Why do you think that some of our kids aren't making it? 51% start, 6.5% come out. What do you think are some of the issues that our kids face?
When I talk to our alumni, the biggest barrier that they have is money. So that's where, again, the FAFSA has been mentioned several times. I have it tattooed on my arm. Just kidding. But you need to apply to any scholarships that you can. A lot of scholarships or a lot of schools, companies have scholarships that nobody's applying to. So the more that you apply to, the bigger your net, and hopefully you'll fill it up with money. And a lot of times just, life happens. You need to stop and take care of your family or things like that. But money and family obligations are the number 2 top reasons.
That's interesting. And so it kind of, to your point, it emphasizes what our counselors before said, a bit earlier, filling out that FAFSA in high school, because even though you may not plan to go today, later on, you may need it and it may be too late. And so now's the time to fill it, because there is a limited pot of money and it is used. But I'm also surprised, Liz, at how much money each year goes unaccounted for. People aren't using it. And so, kids, that there are opportunities there to have your college paid for, but you've got to ask. And the FAFSA is the best way to ask.
Yes. And talking to the financial aid department at any school that you're thinking about applying, just tell them that you need money and they will try their best to find you some. Good.
All right, Liz, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you very much. And thank you for investing in our graduates and helping them who are now adults, those young adults that are between 18 and 24, kind of working on that next phase of their life. We appreciate what you do. All right. Speaking of that group of students, we actually have a couple tonight that we want to talk about. Carly St. Louis is a former ECISD student. She graduated in 2020 and is joining us tonight to kind of tell her story. Hey, Carly, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing. It's an honor to be with you. Thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time tonight. We appreciate it. So you graduated when and from what's high school?
I graduated 2020 from OCA, which was formerly Falcon Early College High School.
Got it. So 2020. And where are you now?
I'm at UTBB pursuing a graphic design major, or BFA in art with a graphic design focus and a minor in marketing.
Good for you. So heading towards what? What do you want to do with all that?
I think I want to do something with graphic design. At the end of my senior, we're required to have an internship, so I'm hoping something goes from that with graphic design.
Good. No, good for you. So what started that passion of yours? Do you remember elementary, middle, or high school, a time that graphic arts became a passion of yours?
I've always loved doing art. My mom has kept all of my drawings. So there's drawings from when I was little. I remember being at restaurants asking my mom for like a little notebook to draw on. And I really got into the graphic portion of it during high school when I, had that technology available to me. And I really enjoyed the aspect of graphic design where you can do it really anywhere and there's lots of opportunities for it. So I decided to pursue that.
Good for you. Good for you. So, Carly, as you were in high school, when you think about supports, what were some supports that you received to kind of help you get to where you are today? What did that look like for you in high school?
Our school was really supportive overall. There was a great relationship between everyone. I always felt supported. Miss Gray was my avid teacher for 2 years, I believe, 2 years. So I always felt that I could go to her about anything and anything related to school, really. So the support system at my school was really great, and I always felt that there was someone that I could go to if I had a question about, OCA or college or anything after that.
Good. And what about now? So now you're living the college dream. What kind of supports are important for you now? Have you leveraged any? Do you still leverage Miss Gray at all to help you, or maybe any supports at the university that you've leveraged?
Absolutely. I actually had asked Miss Gray a few months ago to help me with my Fafsa and the 2 and Through Success Center, and I just messaged her and asked her if she could help me sometime with that, my Fafsa, and she agreed. So she's definitely the 2 and Through Success Center is definitely a big support that I know that I will always have. And there's definitely support systems at UTPB. They always have, ways to contact people and figure out what needs to be done if you need anything. So, but I definitely do rely on Miss Gray a lot because I'm very comfortable with her. So, and she's my support system.
There you go. No, we all need those support systems in our lives. They're important. Hey, Carly, do you think that that others, your peers, just as you are in and around college kids in general, do you have a sense that other students need that type of support as well?
Absolutely. I think everyone needs a support system in some way or another, maybe not for the same things. Not everyone needs it the same way everyone else does, but it's definitely really important to have a support system to help you because college is really scary and FAFSA is really scary filling out. I mean, it's also very scary and overwhelming. So I think it's really important to have whatever support system that you can have available to you and reach out if you need it, especially during this time. It's really important.
Oh, good. Well, hey, thanks, Carly. I'm glad that Miss Gray has been a part of your life. Clearly, that has made a difference.
Absolutely.
The mentor-mentee relationship is powerful for anyone that has the fortune of that opportunity. So thank you, Miss Gray, for investing deeply. And clearly, it's making a difference in Carly's life. And so thanks. And Carly, spread the good word of the 2 and Through Center on the UTPB campus. You probably have lots of peers that could use support as well, and we're here to help.
Absolutely.
So, hey, thank you. We've got another student that is joining us tonight, and he could not be with us live, but he is with us on video tonight, and so he would like to share his story. So if we could roll that video at this time.
My name is John Mata, and I'm a 1999 graduate of Odessa High School. And before that, I attended Bowie Junior High. I am a graphic designer. My day job is an art director. I design trading cards for a living, baseball, basketball, soccer, NASCAR, just about every sport. And then on my nights and weekends, I'm a freelance illustrator as well. Always collected cards as a kid and never thought about who actually designs the cards. But yeah, so happened to land this job, and I've been here for almost 10 years now, maybe longer than 10 years now. Get to art direct a lot of the photo shoots for the rookies every year for the NBA and for the NFL as well.
This Eminence collection is a beautiful collection of my career.
The one program that I got to work on that I thought was the coolest that I've ever gotten to do was before Kobe passed away. I got to work on what was called the Kobe Eminence project, and it was basically a complete, from start of the career to the end of his career, compilation of all his greatest accomplishments. Every card was personally designed by myself and curated by him as well.
All of these things seem like they just happened yesterday, so it's pretty cool for Panini to create such a beautiful set.
It happened so fast that I didn't have time to really think too much about it. But it is kind of wild to see it right now and know that I pretty much helped brand the United States a little bit as we're seeing across the world. And that's a little wild to me when I stop and think about that. But that was an incredible opportunity. Yeah, it's still kind of, yeah, it's still kind of wild to me that I was given that opportunity. Yeah, I do remember having art classes and all those, and it was something that I gravitated toward, and obviously, and it was something that I enjoyed. Never would have thought that I would have turned art into a full-time career. Never. I didn't get where I got just by myself. I had a lot of amazing teachers and mentors along the way that helped me, get to where I am. And I'm happy, more than happy to repay that kindness that they showed me.
That's a wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's a great story, and really, John's story can be the story of many of our students. He clearly leveraged his teachers as he traveled throughout his high school, his elementary, middle, and high school career here in Odessa, and then took advantage of his talent and what he had learned, and has made an amazing career for himself and had many opportunities. But he didn't start that in high school. His journey began earlier than that. And so I'd like to bring back Angelica and Liz to talk for us just a moment about this post-secondary world. We just had interviewed two students that are on the path to success. One in college and living the post-secondary dream right now, and then one that has already had that experience. But neither of them started in high school with their plans. It started much earlier. And so, ladies, as you think about middle school and elementary, our kids and our families that are getting ready for, and they have a dream of something post-secondary, what guidance would you give to our parents tonight? And Angelica, start with you, as they coach and mentor their own children at the middle school level.
Well, at the middle school, I would definitely say that, of course, use Naviance. Have your child start looking at Naviance and do some academic planning and career research on there. Secondly, I would say use your school counselor. Talk to them. See what's out there. Always challenge your student, challenge your child, and put them in the higher level courses in the subjects that they like, and stay involved with their school. I would encourage them to do a lot of extracurricular activities so that they can find themselves, find what they like. A lot of the colleges and universities look for well-rounded students, not just students that are high academically, but are also in different extracurriculars. Yep. And I think at middle school, it's where the kids are trying to find themselves, see what they like, see what they don't. They're kind of shy. They're not sure for some of them. So I think just staying involved in their school and seeing what your child likes and what they don't like, and just encouraging them to do more things.
Great advice. And you used the word involved a lot. And I think those are great. That's a great word. The kids themselves should be involved. In school, it's more than just academics. It is the extracurriculars, community work, community service, etc. All that involvement is important. And then certainly mom and dad, grandparent, aunt, uncle, whoever the adults are in the lives of our kids, they need to remain engaged and involved. Hey, and Angelica, a quick question.
Yes.
If a parent wants to contact a counselor, how do they reach you all?
Okay. On our Odessa High website and on the Permian website and NTO and OCA, whatever, on the front, it has the counselors' names and where they're located and their phone numbers and emails.
Okay. So really, it's the school website for any school. At 43 schools, so if you want to reach a counselor, it sounds like go to the school website and you'll
that would
find
be
that
the
information.
easiest way. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Telephone number and email address. Good deal.
Yes.
Hey, Liz, talk elementary. Moms and dads, aunts, uncles, grandparents that are supporting and mentoring their kids through elementary, but they have that post-secondary dream. I want my kid to go to Harvard. What do I do in elementary school to make sure they're ready?
Well, like it was mentioned earlier, just ask them, what do you want to do when you grow up? Or I've been in a training where instead you can ask them, what problem do you want to solve when you grow up? And really just talking about them, about your own personal career. What do you do for a job? Explain what type of, outside of the normal career skills that you think of.
Yep.
You have to think about time management. Nobody wants to hire you if you're going to be 30 minutes late every day. You need to be organized. You need to have communication skills, starting very, very young and just getting college and career keywords into their brain and sharing and being involved, like Angelica said.
Yep. No, great wisdom. And there's that involved word again.
Yes.
I think it's kind of stuck with us tonight. It's important. And for moms and dads, whoever the guardians are, to be actively involved in their kids' education journey throughout elementary, middle school, and high school.
Yes.
Makes a big difference. And again, engaging you all. So when they want to reach out to a teacher or a counselor, information, phone number on the website, email address on the website. The To and Through Center is on the website. That information is there. Make an appointment, stop in and see Liz, and get that kind of support. And Angelica, again, looking for college career opportunities. That information is available as well. So, ladies, thank you both for joining us tonight. And I'd actually like to thank all of our guests for joining us tonight. It was a great show. Carly and John, former ECISD students that are doing big and great things tonight. Congratulations to them and their visions and for their futures. It's nice to hear the supports that our educators and counselors are providing for our kids. But we don't do this alone. We do this with our families, really together. The school system, the student, and the family, that triangle is critically important for the success of those kids. So thank you for engaging. And finally, moms and dads, those that are watching tonight, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you with us tonight on this edition of ECISD Live. My name is Scott Murray, Superintendent of Ector County ISD. Have a great evening and good night.